Hi, my name's Andy Baines and I'm here with my colleague Karl Perry, and today we're here to discuss engineering here at DWP Digital.
Should we have a look at one of our first questions, Andy?
Yes, why not?
All right. First question is, what has been your favourite experience working in DWP?
Okay, so as head of role for infrastructure engineering, on a daily basis I see quite a lot of new engineers joining DWP, and one of my best experiences is seeing their career pathway, working from ground upwards, taking on new technologies, new skills. We do have a great learning and development program here in DWP, and it's great to see how they develop and promote their way through the different levels of engineering. How about yourself, Karl?
Very similar. I think my favourite experience is the apprenticeship programme. 5 years ago, we embarked on growing talent, developing talent, and those programmes have got such success now in the fact that we've brought people into the department, we've introduced people from outside of the tech sector into the tech sector, so we're giving value there now. And these engineers have had such a great, incredible journey. They are our engineers of the future. They're going to be the future engineers that develop the services, not today, but of tomorrow. And the fact they're going to be supporting society and citizens when they need it the most is just fascinating to see.
And some of those engineer apprentices, they come in from all walks of life, haven't they?
They do.
I mean, one of my engineers recently, when he applied, he worked for McLaren, and he's chosen a new career pathway. We've got people coming in from sixth form and joining ourselves, and they're really enjoying the work we're doing.
They are. They come with such diverse backgrounds, from school leavers to people who've already got high-level qualifications that are just doing a complete career change. They come with such, like I say, diverse skills that it only builds on what skills we've got already.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we ask another question?
Why not? Why don't you ask this one?
So, Karl, tell us about your background in engineering.
Well, it goes back a while. It does go back a while, but I think I started in engineering because I wasn't allowed to do the career I wanted to do. So I had to very quickly, as a young teenager, decide on a new career. So I decided engineering was for me. It looked like the place to be, the career of choice when I was that young. So I did my degree in it and then made some mistakes. Went and did some new startup companies being a software engineer, which was great to learn, but didn't give me that security. So I quite quickly was made redundant a few times and then realised that I needed to get something a bit more secure. Went contracting for a little bit and then eventually made the break in and got a job working in a law firm, writing code for those guys, and writing lots of other incredible things. And then an opportunity came up to work much closer to home, which was DWP. And so I took that opportunity and here I am now. So how about you, Andy? How did your background start in engineering?
Well, you say yours went back a few years. Mine went back even further. So I think it's about 38 years when I first joined. Initially, I was in a role and I got made redundant. So I went to my job centre, local job centre, and they recommended that I apply for the civil service at the time. And that was a role in the computer branch. So I applied for that, was successful, and I started my career probably about 38 years ago, a long time ago. We were working in a computer branch making order books, which was a really old thing where pensioners got their order book, had to go into a post office and claim it. And I've worked in various different roles, both in DWP and externally, because I got outsourced. I was working with EDS, HP, and then I got insourced again through DWP. So I am back here as engineering head of role, and I really enjoy it. And I think that's one thing we need to be clear about here is that DWP Digital has so many different types of role and so many different career aspects and career opportunities that I don't think a lot of people know that we need to get that story out there, that actually if your career changes paths, why don't you consider a role here? because there's so many different pathways you can take once you're in and working your way to various areas of engineering, particularly.
I agree. The scope and breadth of what we do in the department is fathomable, really. It's just incredible.
Okay.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
All right, let's have our next question. What makes working at DWP different to working in the private sector?
So when I was outsourced in 1995, I went to work for an external company where we were providing services for DWP, and the culture was slightly different. A lot of what we were doing was all about profit based, trying to make as much money as possible for that company, and not necessarily focusing on our customers, our most vulnerable people that we are delivering services for. And I find working for DWP Digital now, that is what's key, and that's what gets me, into work each day, because what I'm delivering, what I'm helping to deliver, what I'm helping to support is to make sure that the services we provide, the benefits, and all those great good things are there to help people get into work, claim the right benefits in the most easiest way that we can by transforming services.
Yeah, no, good.
What about yourself?
I think for me, when I joined, the first surprise with me was I've worked for many private sector organisations, but the thing that hit home the most for me was the values of the department. We are trying to support people at their most vulnerable time, and that doesn't just go to the citizens, but we're supporting people coming to work here as well.
Absolutely.
And grow their careers and develop their careers. And I think that was the first thing that struck me was, in private sector, I was just working to try and make profit for people and try and drive their business forward. Mm-hmm. My career seemed to be the backdated version of that. I didn't really get that backing. Here I've had a very different journey. People want to grow me, people want to develop me, and then in turn that goes outwards from me developing people, growing people, which in turn develops the department and then helps citizens and the citizens we support. So I think that was the biggest change for me, and that's probably the biggest difference for me anyway. Yeah,
it's investing and supporting our own people. And to be fair, as an employee and helping to employ individuals coming in, we have such a diverse workforce, from all corners and, from all skills, all backgrounds, and that's what's good about DWP.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, shall we try another one?
Let's try another one. Let's see what's there.
So, Karl, what role does engineering play in enabling DWP to provide its services?
That's a great question, and I think I'm going to answer that one from specifically the job family I look after, which is our software engineers. Mm-hmm. And I think what our engineers do great, especially our software engineers, is they get past high-level designs, they get past these conceptual ideas, and they turn those ideas into something that's tangible. They actually develop those systems, and that's fantastic for me. For something that's on paper is, would this help citizens? Would this actually make a difference? To it becoming a reality and it being developed and built and then live and tested and pushed out to help citizens, it's fantastic. When you think the software engineers do that, but you're producing that front-end page that's really user-intuitive, that users can just log on and know what to fill in and fill the right information in. Maybe not fill data in 4 times over, but just fill data in once, and then we store that and save that to keep constantly duplicating it. It's fascinating to see that, and I think that's the role that we play from a software point of view. But let me ask you from a different point of view, how do you see your infrastructure engineers?
So for me, infrastructure, are providing the platform for those services and the software codes that your engineers are developing to sit on, and the way I look at it from an infrastructure perspective, we have so many different types of infrastructure. We've moved away from, in some aspects, from the data center areas into cloud-based. Our technologies are changing all the time, and indeed the roles of my infrastructure engineers are changing from being a basic hosting engineer, shall we say. You're now working in cloud, you're working with various suppliers, and we here are actually helping nurture the way some of these cloud providers are providing their services to us, because we're a massive organisation, and it's at the cutting edge of new technology. That's what it's all about, and that's what's encouraging and a great place to work.
And when we think about engineering as a bigger department, we're not only building the platforms for these systems that go on, and we're not only writing these systems, but we're testing these systems to make sure that they're robust and they're secure and they're performant. And then, when we think how these systems can scale from, it's not just one user on it, it's not just thousands, it's not 10,000s, we've got millions of people using these systems, and they're available 24/7. It's incredible to see what engineers actually can knock out the park. And I guess I'm interested to see what we do now, but where we go in the future and how we develop those future systems and what technologies are available. It's an exciting time.
And still provide the services to be available when required by our citizens and our customers, and making sure that they are fully available. That's one of the key areas that we do concentrate on, is making sure that outages don't exist.
And being respondent to changes is another thing we have to be constantly aware of. Things change constantly, and we have to be adapted to those systems when they're ready to be changed, so that we can make it quickly and effectively, really as seamless as possible.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Have we got any more questions? We have. What surprised you the most about engineering in government?
For me, what surprised me when I came back to join DWP in 2015 was, the size of the organisation, the way technology had advanced, the ownership we have ourselves, and the way DWP is a big player in the government market. We are one of the biggest employers, and also the biggest technology areas within government. We play a big part in influencing the way our engineers are helped and supported and provided with the necessary tools and technologies and techniques and skills necessary to provide what a great service. And I'm really impressed that even down to the way our buildings look now, they're aesthetically pleasing, even though we've got cushions and things like that. But the stigma of old civil service, sat behind a desk with a pen and piece of paper, doesn't exist anymore. It's all about cutting edge. It's about finding the right environment to work in. Working both remotely and in the office, and having the technologies to do both. It's all great stuff.
I agree.
What do you reckon, Karl?
I think you've probably touched on a nerve that I've got to be openly honest about here, that when I got 5 years ago and I was thinking of making that jump from private sector to public sector, I'm thinking, why? They haven't got the technology I want. They've not got the resources I want. They've not got these modern offices. So why am I making this jump? And I think that was probably the most surprising thing for me, was coming here and firstly realising the scope of the challenge here is absolutely incredible. And then you think that we meet that on a daily basis. That's the next incredible thing, that we've got some of the best engineers around in the marketplace right now that work here, that are actually giving their all every day to build the best services. We have got cutting edge technology. We're not still developing in some of the old languages. We are at the forefront of it. We are absolutely sitting on the coattails of where the technology industry is going for the future, and developing those systems in those modern languages, I think, is another great thing. To think that you come here and you're just going to go to this dying career. No, we are, absolutely, again, developing people to not only continue their careers or maybe diversify into different careers, but we are absolutely investing in developing the next generation of engineers that are going to build these services. So I think that's what surprised me the most, is that taboo, that stereotype that I had in my head about government and government services was completely just destroyed when I came here. And no evident that I walked through the door and I saw all the tooling of, I would have loved to have bought that when I was in private sector. And then I came here and it's like, oh, they've already got it here. Why? How have they got that? And that was the big surprise for me. Was I used to think private sector was ahead of the game and miles ahead of the curve, and I realised that it's not probably as good as it thinks it is. That was my surprise.
Thanks, Karl.
No, thanks, Andy. I don't think we've got any more questions, so it's been great chatting.
Thank you.
Thanks.